Alright, hey guys, this is your old pal Bunions from Bunions and Cabbage. I do apologize. I had intended to record every part of this painting process for you, but unfortunately my camera had other ideas in mind and did not record the whole process. So, we are a little bit further along, as you can see. So some of the things that I did while you were gone. Again, this is a miniature. It's by Brute Fun Minis. You can find them both on My Mini Factory or Cults 3D. If you look up Brute Fun Minis, it is a Blood Bowl miniature. It is supposed to be a representation of Grashnak Blackhoof, so that is how I am painting him. So some of the things I did while the process was not being recorded, I went in and I finished his straps. So his straps are all painted. I did them in the Reaper Minis leather brown, and then I went over them with the Gore Gruntifer contrast paint to make it a little bit darker. I also painted his gloves. I was hoping that painting a bleached linen on his fingerless gloves and then doing Gore Gruntifer would give me a little bit more contrast than it did between the wristbands and the gloves, but they did not. So unfortunately, that's what we have going for us here. But now, I also did some work on the eyes. I went ahead and painted the eyes red. Red eyes on a bull just sounds normal. I watched a lot of Bugs Bunny as I was growing up. I did most of that work with my Winsor & Newton size 1. So what I'm working on now, I have some of that MIG ammo paint, gunmetal color. I am going back over his shoulder pads when I did the bronze color. This is a Reaper Minis tarnished bronze. Excuse me, it is dragon bronze. Reaper Minis dragon bronze. I was not completely perfect in putting all of that paint where it was supposed to be. You can see some of the shinier spots above the arrow there where I did miss. So I'm just going back through. I'm gonna repaint that gunmetal, and then I'm gonna put some more Agrax Earthshade on top of it, just to make it look a little bit more weathered and rusty, because it's probably seen a lot of use on the Blood Bowl pitch. I'm using right now my size 2-0 brush. It's Rhapsody Creative Mark. Right now I'm putting out some more of that dragon bronze there. I do have, he's got a lot of rivets going up and down his straps that I'm going to take care of. So let's see what we got here, where I'm going to start with that process. I'm going to start on, oh that's right, I forgot to paint the ring in the back that holds all of the straps together. So I'm going to take care of that real quick. Like I said, there's a decent amount of detail on this miniature, but it's not an overwhelming amount, which I like, which I am very fond of. So I'm taking care of my ring right now, and now I'm going to go take care of some of these rivets. Sorry, my camera kind of spazzed out on me there. Hopefully you guys can see this. Yeah, I think the left glove turned out a little bit better in terms of looking different than the wristband than the right one did. But you know, we'll figure that out. Sorry for that little bit of quiet spot there. Daughter wanted to come in and say hi and see what I was doing, so we are still working on those rivets on the belt there. I do like this metal color. It's not too bright, a little bit understated, so it doesn't overpower what all is going on with him. Oh, something else I did last time, I worked on his shoes. I painted his shoes this tarnished bronze too. Now I'm painting the belt end itself and the clasp. That nice small brush so I can hopefully get these details taken care of without too much paint spilling over on me. This video is going to be a lot about detail painting because I do a lot of detail work here just to try to finish him out. I am fairly close to being finished by the end of this video. Sorry that his hand is in the way there. It does make it a little bit more difficult for you guys to see. You can kind of see some of the work that I did there. Alright. We got that guy taken care of now. A few more rivets we need to take care of. Sorry about the autofocus on the camera, guys. It works some of the time, and then some of the time it's like, nope, you're too close. There it is. I do like the rivets. The rivets are a very nice touch. Gives us a little bit more than just brown straps going over his chest there. And I got a few more on the back I need to take care of. Let's see what I do next. I should be done with the rivets here in just a second. They are square shaped, so I do have to paint one side and then come back and paint the other. Right. Gotta get his wristband for his bracer there. Spill there that I'll have to fix, but that's okay. My brush control is decent. It's not perfect. Let's see. Do I call it done on the bronze now? Nope. I got a little bit more to do. Oh, I got to take care of the top strap. He's actually got a couple rivets, and then he's got a couple arrows in there too. And that's how it's attaching this strap to the straps that go across to his back. Which is a nice touch. They're also very chaos shaped, which is nice. And there's my head, peeking in a little bit. Right. I really do think I should be finishing up with the bronze here in just a second. I gotta make sure I finish up his points on his horns too, though. Alright, putting down the brush here for just a second. I'm going to grab another color of paint, I'm pretty sure. Figure out what color I'm going to go with. I believe this is Reaper Mini's Desert Sand. Yeah, that's what it is. A little bit of paint down there. I have my overhead fan on. You can see some of the paper starting to dry up down there in the right corner on my wet palette. So I probably should have added some more water to it, but the rest of the paper is in okay shape. And I'm gonna make sure we wet it down a little bit. A couple of the spikes on his one shoulder pad had some wrappings around them, so I'm going to take care of the wrappings with this color. Got it nice and mixed up, just got to wipe off the brush real quick. You can see some of my Space Marines there. You can see a couple of my Iron Golems on the side of the screen there. My pile of shame is very quickly growing on me. Alright. Yeah, I get this middle strap this middle spike has straps on it, and it also has a skull implanted on the bottom. It also has a skull on the back of his head. Get to that quite yet. I like using not quite white colors. I have pure white. I also have a tube of titanium white by Liquitex, but I rarely ever find myself using pure white. Because it just these almost white colors just seem to work so much better. Yeah, if you can't see it off screen, but I'm just painting getting the last of the details on these straps up there. You can see it really well now. I'm getting on the inside too, because there's a broad edge of that spike that's facing inward. My hair is causing my autofocus to go out of whack there, so I apologize about that you can't see what I'm doing. Again, I'm just detailing up those bandages going around that spike, and now I'm going to get the inside. I'm going to get that broad edge. Yeah. So we got the broad edge now. I think I'm going to come back and I'm going to do the skulls. Like I said, there's one on the spike, and there's one in his hair. Oh yeah, and he's got some wrappings in his hair too that I'm going to take care of while I'm using this desert sand. It works really well for like a linen color. I've got to differentiate now between the braids in his hair and the straps. So that's what I'm working on here, making sure I get the wrappings, but I don't paint any of the braids. see what I'm going to do next. Just wash my paintbrush off. I know I have to make sure I get the skulls, so I know I'm going to do that before I move on. I must be getting a drink of water real quick. Apologies for the dead air here. Oh, nope, I am pulling out the Agrax Earthshade now before I paint the skull. So I'm going to paint the straps on his spike there. Oh. Sorry, I'm painting this off the screen there. I'm trying to get this skull, and it's got some texture to it, so I want to make sure I get everything painted. There's 2 nice thin coats. Heard that's a good brand of paint, but I've never actually used it yet. I think the only brands of paint I've used one of the old formula of AK Interactive. They had some on sale at my game shop. I've obviously used Citadel and Reaper and Army paint. And then I have the Make Ammo paint. And then I have actually quite a large selection of Liquitex paints, which are professional paints. Yeah, I'm getting that skull it's tied up in his hair now too. I think this will be one of those minis that I gotta find some skulls to put on the base. Just give it that extra atmosphere. Probably just need to bring my camera down a little bit closer towards me, because I do like painting just off the bottom of the frame there. Alright, looks like I am done with the desert sand. Yeah, I'm done with the desert sand, so now we're going to use the Agrax Earthshade, so I'm just going to move my wet palette out of the way for the moment. No, I have not used this much Agrax Earthshade. I wish I could say that I used this much. I spilled it. I spilled most of this pot. These shade pots are nice to paint out of, but they are very tall and they are very easily knocked over. Let's bring it up a little bit here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Give it a nice shading, pull out some of the depth in the different parts of the skulls and the eye holes to make sure you can see everything. And I'm going to paint the bandages too. They're a little bit dirty. Even that off-white color's not going to stay white the whole time that he's on the pitch. And I think I actually forget to get the broad edge. And I'm not going to paint the wrappings in his hair. I am just going to paint the skull. I want the wrappings to stay a lighter color. Alright. Rinse off the brush now, see where we're at. So you can got that skull there, a nice dark color. Looks like it's been in the dirt for a while. Do I see the broad edge? Let's see if I see it. Oh, so I'm coming back here. So some of the earlier work I did that was fixing some of the bronze color that was extra on his shoulder pads there. When I repainted it, it was a little too bright, so I'm just kind of matching tones, making sure the whole shoulder pad looks about the same. I don't actually think I go back into my wet palette in the rest of this video. Yeah. Alright. I think I'm done my Agrax Earth shade there. I'm gonna get that put away. I think I'm gonna do a little bit of dry brushing now. And see what paint I pull out next. Ooh, I was reaching like I was going back to my wet palette, but I don't think I do. Am I? Ooh. I'm very indecisive in this moment, folks. Nope, there we go. I got another pot of paint out. This is Rack White. It is a dry paint. You can see it's really kind of gummy there, which is a good consistency. I'll put a little bit on the end of my dry brush here in a second. There's my dry brush. That is an Army Painter dry brush. So I am going to hopefully do this in frame for you guys to see me dry brush. I actually did a fairly good job dry brushing this time. I normally mess up the first couple swipes I take at it. There we go. So I am coming back over his hair just to kind of differentiate some of the strands there. I wish it would focus in the right place. Yeah, you can see there how it pulls out some of the ends of those strands of hair. I'm going to do this all over his body. I'm going to catch anywhere I did hair. He's got hair on him, so on his thighs, on his ankles. Those are his ankles, those are not his calves. It is an extension of his foot. His calves are completely without hair. On top of his head, I don't do the chest just because dry brushing is not a very exact technique. And if I dry brushed on his chest, I'd have to go back over that ring that's in the center and probably some of his straps too. So we're, sorry I'm doing this off frame again. Promise you, I'm still here. I am still working. Yeah, dry brushing is a nice technique. It's kind of the opposite of shading, so using a wash or a shade, because shades and washes kind of tend to travel towards those low spots, whereas when you're dry brushing, you're not pushing down incredibly hard, so you're really getting those high spots. Big trick. The thing about dry brushing is you got to make sure you have a completely dry brush. I'm putting back the Rack White now, and I think I'm going to do a little bit more dry brushing. Am I? Ooh, I'm going to go back to my paint. Let's see what I'm going to do. Up a little bit more. Oh, I'm getting his teeth. I already painted some of that brilliant red into his mouth. So now I'm getting his teeth. I think I get a little bit too far down and I kind of get his chin a little bit. But I go back and I fix that. For a cow, he's got some massive incisors. That's okay. We'll just assume he's closer to an aurochs than a bull. They were very mean and very territorial, and they were the descendants of our modern cows, which don't seem to be anything like them. As I said, I already did the eyes. I also did the tongue. So the inside of his mouth, he's got a red tongue. His mouth is fairly well shadowed, so I didn't really do much other than that. Yeah, I'm fixing a little bit around his jawline there because I did miss a little bit. Yeah, now you can see his teeth. Alright, let's see what I go to next. See all my bits I have in there. I see some adamant armory in there. There's some Artisan Guild stuff in there. There's some GW stuff in there. I think I have some orc bits from one of my Blood Bowl teams that are just kind of hanging out in there. Alright, and I'm going to do some more dry brushing. I'm going to use a little bit smaller brush because I'm going to put some rust markings on his shoulder pads there. He's got some scratches and some indents and some dents on those shoulder pads, so I'm going to work on those, give them a little bit of an orange color, because that's where the outer coating on the metal would have cracked and faded. So again, I'm getting some paint on my brush. I'm getting rid of most of it on the paper towel, and then I'm just lightly dusting that shoulder pad as I go. Picked up a little bit more paint because I'm having a hard time getting it to come off because these dents are a little small. There we go. A little bit of pushing in there. He's got a crack there along the spine of his shoulder pad. I'm going to go around to the other side now, get a little bit more, get rid of most of it. Yeah, the hard part is figuring out, finding that sweet spot when you're dry brushing between having too much paint on to be effective at dry brushing and not having enough paint left, brushing too much of it off on the towel. So that's something I struggle with sometimes, where I will pull too much paint off, and in an effort to come back and try to make sure I actually can dry brush, I'll put too much paint on, and so I'll actually just be painting with the dry paint. Alright, there wasn't very much to do there, and that's what I worked on tonight. So if you guys like my videos, please be sure to like and subscribe.